At his glittering engagement party, a billionaire thought he had it all: wealth, power, and the perfect bride-to-be. But then came a single drink, a whisper from a stranger, and a discovery so shocking it threatened to destroy not only the wedding, but everything he believed about love and trust. Welcome to English Stories with Sherry. Grab a cozy seat and let's journey through magical tales, classic stories, and everyday adventures, all in English. Learning the language has never been this fun. The billionaire raised his glass, offering a flawless smile as cameras clicked. He had spent years building his empire, mastering negotiations, defeating rivals. Nothing ever surprised him. Nothing ever slipped through his net. He believed he could read anyone, know their motives, control their choices. But when it came to love, he had let his guard down. Or so he thought. As the night unfolded, he excused himself from the spotlight for just a moment. Moving through the crowd, he accepted a glass of wine from a waiter and turned toward the balcony, craving fresh air. And that's where it happened. He didn't know if it was the way the voice slipped between the laughter of the crowd or the way the words felt almost too carefully chosen, but a whisper stopped him in his tracks. "She isn't who you think she is." The billionaire froze, his glass halfway to his lips. He turned, but all he saw was the back of a man disappearing into the crowd. No face. No name. Just the echo of the whisper lingering in his mind. At first, he laughed it off. His bride-to-be was adored by his family, praised by the media, and flawless in every sense of the word. But something inside him, a survival instinct honed through years of cutthroat deals, wouldn't let it go. He scanned the room. She stood near the piano, her hand lightly resting on the rim of a champagne glass as she listened intently to a group of women. Her smile was effortless, her poise unshakable. To everyone else, she was perfect. To him, suddenly, she was a mystery. The whisper had planted a seed of doubt, and doubt in the mind of a billionaire was more dangerous than any rival. That night, as the guests departed and the laughter faded, he watched her carefully. Every gesture, every word, every smile seemed rehearsed. He began to wonder, how much did he truly know about the woman he was about to marry? The next day, he began to dig. Money can open doors that most people never even know exist. With a single phone call, he had investigators tracing her past, pulling records, and contacting old acquaintances. What he found didn't fit the story she had told him. Her childhood town wasn't where she claimed. Her former jobs weren't as clear as she made them sound. Even her closest friends seemed vague about details. The deeper he went, the more he realized that her life was carefully curated, like a painting designed to impress but hiding the cracks underneath. And yet every time he confronted her, she deflected with ease. She had a way of twisting his suspicions into jokes, of leaning close and whispering reassurances that made him doubt himself instead. For a man used to control, it was infuriating. The breaking point came just 1 week before the wedding. He had arranged a quiet dinner at his estate, away from the press, away from prying eyes. As they sat across from each other, candlelight flickering between them, he decided to test her. He mentioned a name, someone from her supposed past. A person he knew didn't exist. And there it was. For just a fraction of a second, her eyes flickered with recognition she shouldn't have had. It was the smallest slip, but it was enough. He set his glass down slowly, his voice low and deliberate. "Who are you really?" Her smile faltered for the first time since he had met her. And in that silence, he felt the truth pressing down like a weight. She wasn't the woman she claimed to be. What followed was a revelation that would shock even the most hardened businessmen. She leaned back, her expression no longer sweet but sharp. And then, for the first time, she told him the truth. She hadn't sought him out for love. She hadn't even sought him out for marriage. She had been sent. Behind her beauty and charm was a hidden agenda, a connection to people he never imagined she could be tied to. Rivals, enemies, even those who had once tried to dismantle his empire. Her presence in his life wasn't an accident. It was orchestrated. But here's the twist. Somewhere along the line, her mission had blurred. Somewhere between the lies and the games, she had fallen for him. And now, on the edge of exposure, she admitted what neither of them expected, that the love she had faked had become real. For the billionaire, the revelation was earth-shattering. The woman he had trusted with his future had entered his life as part of a scheme. But the woman sitting across from him now, eyes filled with something raw and unguarded, was not the same person who had whispered lies into his ear months ago. The engagement was no longer just about marriage. It was about betrayal, power, and the impossible question, could love survive when it was built on deception? As the wedding day approached, the billionaire faced a choice. He could walk away, expose her, and end the story where it began. Or he could take the biggest risk of his life, not a business gamble, not a financial bet, but the risk of trusting someone who had already betrayed him. The party guests would never know the storm brewing beneath the polished surface. They would arrive at the wedding expecting to see perfection. But what they would truly witness was a test of love, loyalty, and the dangerous line between truth and lies. Because sometimes, the greatest discoveries don't come from business deals or billion-dollar ventures. Sometimes, they come from a drink, a whisper, and the shocking truth about the person you thought you knew best. Thanks for listening to English Stories with Sherry. If you enjoyed today's tale, like, subscribe, and share with a friend learning English. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep learning, and keep listening.